The Gopher Coaches Show is presented by Window Concepts and Affinity Plus Federal Credit Union.
How's our top down here? Elite, man, that's what it is.
This is the Gopher Coaches Show.
Welcome into the Gopher Coaches Show. I'm Ahmad Hicks alongside KFAN's Justin Gaard and head men's basketball coach Niko Medved. So, Coach, we just saw you last week. Not a lot has changed since you were once on this set, but you did have a game taking on a top 10 team in Nebraska. Didn't go the way we had all envisioned, but nonetheless, a great first half for your team.
Yeah, unfortunately, they played two, right? They forgot to mention that, but no, you know, it was a great crowd.
Yeah.
Thought there was a lot of, you know, energy and emotion into that game. I thought our guys competed really well in the first half and maybe even right out of the gate in the second half. Nebraska's a terrific team. They are where they are for a reason. Mm-hmm. They're veteran, they're tough. You know, we hung in there, man, with about, 11 minutes to go. You know, it's a couple possession game. Cade Tyson gets hurt. I thought probably the first time there, just kind of emotionally, I thought took the wind out of their sails. A lot of it was Nebraska, too. They're a terrific team, but unfortunately, you know, those last 10 minutes were not very good. They kind of imposed their will on us, and we just weren't able to respond.
So how do you handle that emotional part of it? Because you've talked all season about we have who we have, we are who we are, our guys are going to fight, they're going to be resilient, and I'd say 99.9% of the time, Coach, they have been. So how do you handle that part of it? Is like for the first time, maybe we cracked a little bit. How do you address that with the guys?
I think just being honest with them. I told them that after the game. I said kind of for the first time in a long time, it looked like we emotionally just kind of, you know, gave in a little bit. And again, you got it. Your opponent gets a vote. You got to give them credit too, and just looked like we weren't able to kind of sustain anything on both ends. But I think, you know, you learn from it, you move on. This stuff's relentless. These leagues are so good. These teams are so good. And I thought, you know, we were able to have a day off after the game here. And, you know, this group, like they always have, they've got great character. They'll find a way to respond.
Coach, you talked a little bit about Cade Tyson, how he had to leave the game with injury. What did you see or didn't see from your team after he went down with that injury and couldn't come back in?
Well, I thought, you know, Nebraska's a terrific defensive team to begin with. I thought they ramped up, you know, their defensive intensity. I thought it became harder for us to score. You know, you couple that in with, you know, they made a couple of plays, and they're such a good team. You know, the margin for error is small. You make a couple of defensive mistakes and they make you pay, and bang, before you know it, they're able to score 8 points before you can blink an eye. And I just thought maybe some of our frustration on offense really allowed us to break down more on the defensive end. And so, but obviously, you know, Cade's a terrific player. And, you know, some of losing his offense, I thought, really hurt us too.
When we get to ask PJ Fleck about injuries, Ahmad knows this. He'll say the availability report comes out 2 hours before the game. You can check it there. So you have that out. I'm giving you the PJ out, but obviously Cade's an important piece. Do we have some kind of timetable or update on him?
I would refer to PJ. No, I mean, I don't know. I mean, hopefully it's nothing for that young man. Hopefully it's nothing, you know, long term. But I mean, those things are part of the game. You know, obviously we've really been up against it this year, but hopefully it's nothing, you know, long term of time that he'll miss. But we'll know more here as we get closer. But hey, you got to control the controllables, right? So whatever it is, and the guys that are available, we'll get them ready to go down and go to Madison and do what we can do. One
of the controllables is Langston Reynolds. You've asked him for a lot more, probably maybe more than he anticipated. You've had so many injuries, especially in the backcourt. So what have you seen for him as he has taken more that you've put on his plate?
I think when he's really been at his best, I think it's the defensive side of the floor. I mean, he's usually, you know, got the challenge of guarding the other team's best perimeter player. I think he's really done a great job. Thought he did a great job, you know, on Sandefur for most of the game. But, you know, holding a guy like that down, you can't do it for 31 minutes. Right. You got to do it for 40 minutes. So I think that's been great. I think, you know, for him too, he's really become a playmaker. He's really done a great job of embracing, you know, finding ways to get other guys shots. And I think those two things have really been a difference maker for this group.
Coach, just moving forward, we don't know the availability of Cade Tyson, but if he's not able to go, I'm sure you're going to ask more from Langston. You're going to ask more of Isaac Asamoah. Can you just talk about what happened in that first half and how he was able to kind of, I won't say bounce back, but try to find his groove after some foul trouble against Nebraska?
You talking about Isaac? Yeah. You know, it was one of those nights. It was unfortunate. He really was never able to get into a flow. It picked up 2 quick fouls. which kind of hurt him in the first half. We played him with 2, and then the first possession of the second half, right away you pick up his third. So it's just one of those nights for him, and couldn't get anything to go down. He had a couple that looked like they were halfway down, and but that's part of being in the arena. He's still a young player. Wasn't his night, but he'll respond. He's played really, really well for us, I think, here in the last 3 weeks, and so that wasn't his night, but hey, that happens sometimes. He'll find a way to come back and respond.
Yeah, I did want to talk about just how he has progressed, because you've been pretty consistent about the type of player that you think he can be. As you know, he's from Minnesota, so everybody here loves that. We're always very interested in how the kid from Cherry is going to progress. But how have you seen him develop in just the short time that you've had him?
I think it's just the game slows down for you on both ends of the floor. You go through all these things, the ups and downs. I think it's learning to be a consistent two-way player. It's learning that, hey, even when my shot's not falling, there's so many things that I can do that impact winning. And so I'm really seeing him grow in those areas and just continuing to grow. Sometimes, boy, it's not going your way early in a game. Can you find a way to stay with it? Keep making winning plays, and it's crazy how you can turn it, within a game. And so just him continuing to do that. But again, he's a young player. He's a great worker. He loves it. He cares so much. He's just going to continue to get better.
Coach, I've been around for a couple of years now, and I have yet to see the barn just packed out on a consistent basis. Yet this season, when I go to each men's game, it just seems like there's more and more people starting to join the crowd. What's that like for you as a coach and for your players when you walk into Williams Arena and you see a packed out crowd?
It's awesome. I mean, I've said it many times. I think that place, when there's a great crowd and it's close to full, is one of the best sporting experiences in the Twin Cities. It's got a great vibe, a great feel to it. It's a great home court. It means a lot to us. They make a difference. It really, really makes a difference. It's what makes college sports great.
Right.
Is to have the fans in there cheering. It's great. And when we go on the road, I love it too. To see the other arenas packed, and that's why you want to be at this level and be in these environments. And so to see that energy starting to come back to the barn is everything. We've got to continue to build on that because we need that moving forward.
How do you feel? How would you grade yourself as a conductor of the orchestra for the fans? Like, if you feel like, hey, we need to stop here. Are you good with the the shoulders up? Because I sat behind you one game. I thought you were pretty good. The Wisconsin game kind of reminded people it's a big time to get a stop here. The arms were going up. Like, do you feel like you have that conductor gene?
I don't know. I'd probably a C+. I'm not. I probably need to get a little bit better, kind of be a little bit more in sync.
Well, you have to kind of know your audience. Like Minnesotans, we're kind of slow starters, right?
Yeah.
Like you start your car in the winter. Sometimes it takes a minute to go. Like sometimes we're there. 8 o'clock tips for sure. 11 a.m. maybe a little different. But some days you might just have to feel out the crowd like you feel out your team. Is it a slow starting crowd, or do I need to pump them up?
I think there's a great point there of hey, come on, we need a little bit more and whatever. And hopefully, I'd love to get to the point where
you don't need it.
Can't. I remember Coach Haskins used to throw the jacket. You know what I mean?
Yes, but you don't wear one.
Not only do I wear one, but you get tossed out today. You know what I mean? Like they're a little bit more. These officials are a lot more sensitive. You know what I mean? than they used to be. So can't do that one anymore. But we're getting better. Even I'm coming back, you're getting a better feel like for our crowd. But to the bigger point, it's been fun. From early on in November until now to see the crowds grow. And that's the biggest thing, is we've got a lot to build on there.
Coach, about 20 games through the season now, would you say that your team has figured out its identity, or do you think you guys are still searching for that right now?
I think we're figuring it out. I think the fact, we've been in so many of these games, I think the guys are understanding kind of how they have to play and the roles that they have to play. But I think it's still evolving, right? I think they've got a good one that way, but I don't think we're a finished product. I don't know that you ever can think that, but we're unselfish. They play together, they hang in there. I think all of those things, and I think the identity is formed. I think they're believing in it, but we still have a little ways to go.
All right. Well, that'll do it for our first block. Now, when we return, we have to talk one specific player, and that's a player that transferred from Colorado State to here to Minnesota with Coach Niko Medved. That's Jaylen Crocker-Johnson. On the other side of the break, we're going to talk about what he means to this program and how they're going to get it all together moving forward. We'll be right back.
Gopher Coaches Show.
We're back with the Gopher Coaches Show. I'm Ahmad Hicks alongside Justin Gaard and Niko Medved. Now, one player I spoke about right before the break is Jaylen Crocker-Johnson. He's one of the leaders of this team, and I got a chance to sit down with him one-on-one earlier this summer before the season began to talk about what's in store for this year and what he has on his plate. Let's take a listen.
Why Minnesota?
Really just Coach Medved, man. I mean, me and him, we built a strong connection at CSU. I mean, just he pushed me to be great. Like, he knows what he expects out of me. He's going to challenge me every day, push me. I mean, I just want to be around that circle, like people that see me want to be a great player, be a pro, be a great leader to my teammates. And, you know, just he's challenged me to be a leader out here because, I mean, it's a new system and everything. Everyone's adjusting and everything. So, I mean, I just feel like this is probably the best adjustment for me to take the next level up and challenge myself to be a leader in that aspect as well.
What was it like when you first got into his program at CSU? What was one thing that stood out?
It's basically the terminology, because I mean, going from like a school that just runs basic stuff like the simple terminology, and then coming here, you're hearing Tiger, stuff like that. It's like, it's different. So it definitely took me like more than 2 months, because I was running 2 different positions as well. So I mean, but once I got the flow of it and everything, it really, like, you really understand how much freedom you got into it.
What is it about Niko that kind of makes makes him get the best out of his players?
He's a competitor for sure. Like, he doesn't like losing. I mean, no one should like losing and everything, but like he's gonna push us to high standards. He's gonna be harder on us and everything. So just having that chip on his shoulder to make us want to be great. I mean, that's the coach I want to play for.
What goes into a NCAA tournament team? Obviously, you have experience with that. What was that like, and what do you think you need to bring from CSU here to Minnesota in order to get the Gophers to the tournament?
I mean, first things first, you got to be in shape, because like that postseason and everything, like, just you gonna get tired running, trying to make that run and everything. Just being in shape, and then just like toughness is going to be tough for sure, just playing in that environment and everything, just settle the nerves down. But just me coming here from that experience and just holding everyone to a high standard, because obviously want to get here again, bring back life to the barn and everything, get the program back going. So just having that chip on my shoulder just to get the team going again.
What was that NCAA tournament experience like for you?
Man, that first game we beat Memphis, and then like that last minute when we had a feeling we was gonna win, and then just seeing that whole crowd coming up. I mean, that's every kid's dream, to like play on that stage and just feel that experience. The whole city is cheering for you and everything. It was a great feeling.
When you walked off that court in the loss, what's one of the first things that came to your mind?
I gotta get back here. That was like the main thing, because like I know anything could happen in March, right? So I mean, you just want to make that run again. So just like, I already knew once I took that L, took it to chin, like, you got to go through a lot of losses to get where you want to be at for sure. So just, you know, just getting over that mountaintop and just keep fighting. But yeah, definitely got to get back there.
So I have to ask you, several of your teammates decided to stick around in CSU and not follow Niko Medved. What was the recruiting pitch for you, and why he felt like you needed to come with him?
I mean, to be honest, it's probably just the connection I built, and then like how close he got with my family, agent, everything. So just building that connection, you know, and just how close we were and everything, and like how we got a lot of things in common and everything, just ways of just competing and everything. So I just wanted to play for the coach that, like, on top of that, I mean, there's nothing wrong with CSU and everything, but Medved, like, he definitely sees a lot of potential in me. On top of that, what the coach stuff he brought here and everything, I already knew with him, I knew the system and everything. So just, you know, having that joy, like, just wanted to be a better player out here.
Did it weigh on you a little bit during that process when Niko got announced as Minnesota, and then a lot of your friends were staying at CSU?
Yeah, for sure, because I mean, within 24 hours, we was on the flight back from Seattle, and then next morning we get tweets that Niko's leaving, and then it was a lot to take in and everything, so really just took a lot of processing, just did a lot of talking with the family, friends, really just trying to see where my head's at and everything, just taking all in, because I mean, we still just took a mean L, so I mean, I'm still recovering from that and then everything. So then it just took a little moment, took a few weeks off just to clear my head, and then just brought it back up. And then when it was time, like, to make that rifle decision, then I already knew I was running for it.
What was your first thought when you stepped foot on this university, saw these facilities and everything they had to offer?
Man, I mean, words can't even explain it for sure, because, like, I mean, just coming from the Mountain West to Big Ten, it's such a big jump and everything, and just seeing all the resources, like, you got everything you need here. Like, I don't see why people won't want to come here at all, but yeah, you got everything you got here. So, I mean, definitely a lot of joy and excitement rose to my body, just like seeing how excited the coach staff was here to see me and everything, so that just brought excitement to me.
What's it like now on the recruiting trail? Because obviously this is your new home. You got to get future players here. So what's your sales pitch to them, even though you haven't been here that long?
Right. I mean, I could ask Isaac and everything. I'm still learning out here and everything. So I mean, just basically, I mean, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good vibes out here. It's a great program, great culture, and everything. I mean, team together. There's a lot of meanings behind it and everything. You could take it in simple different ways, but I mean, the coaching staff is gonna like do their part. You just gotta be willing to put the work in and everything. Everything fit well.
How many conversations have you had with the young guys or just new guys to this program that are like, yo, what's Coach like? Is he like this all the time?
Man, really almost every day. Cause I mean, we be having those talks and everything. Like after practice and everything, we'll just sit down, talk. I'll just basically fill him in like what Coach expects, how stuff's gonna go, like when season start, how stuff's gonna go. So like, yeah, we just been talking to like, really been building a lot of bonds off the court for sure. But yeah, just getting like almost every day.
How would you say that Niko has helped you become the man that you are and not just the basketball player?
I really say it's more of like the off-court stuff because Coach O, it's a stuff we call do an Excel series, really just like off-the-court stuff. Like it's a close personal thing that we do with all the players and the coach. So really just like a lot of trying to help us how to be a man off the court and everything, like a better father, like stuff like that in that aspect. So I feel like that stuff all plays a part into like having those like one-on-one meetings with coach and everything. So just like he's always gonna check up on us, he's always gonna make sure we good and everything. So I feel like all those adding up, it just makes us like, you know, whole on the court.
When you looked at the Big Ten Conference as a whole from the outside looking in, what were your thoughts on that conference and what does it mean to finally be playing in it now?
I mean, Big Ten is one of the best conferences in the country. So, I mean, just like, you know, this is what I want, you know, play at the highest level, every game to be hard, you know, just play on the big stage. I mean, that's what any kid would want for sure. Just, you know, just having that, you know, expectations and high intensity going into it, I'm very excited for it.
Yeah, bud. So Ahmad got to ask Jaylen all the questions about you. I'll ask a couple to you about him. What's it been like to have him, you know, in year one here to explain to guys what Tiger means and all the terminology and everything else that goes along with it?
Well, I think there's that part of it, but, you know, like I'll say, I mean, he is an unbelievable young man. I mean, I just love having him around. He's got a great heart. He's a big-time competitor. Everyday guy. I mean, when you show up, you never have to worry what you're going to get from Jaylen Crocker-Johnson. He's a two-way player. It just meant the world to me that, you know, he wanted to come here and kind of be a cornerstone of what we're building. And it's been really fun to watch his game even continue to grow and take off. And, like, even with the injuries and us maybe have to putting him in a different position more than he envisioned, never flinches, right? He's just going to show up to work, do what he has to do to try to help the team win. And I think he's playing great basketball. I mean, he's really, really playing well on both ends of the floor for us. He's given us everything he has. And, you know, he takes losing harder than anyone, guys. I mean, he is a competitor. He loves to win. So he's just my type of dude, and I'm so thankful that we have him here.
Well, I feel like we've seen a lot of them here in these highlight packages. Every big win you've had or big game you've had, I feel like he's had at least one big shot. And that may have come on the heels of he was 0 for his last 5, and somehow the ball ends up at the top of the key, and he doesn't care. He's going to fire it.
Yeah, I mean, you got to have that moxie to know when you have to make the play. It doesn't matter what happened before, good or bad. It's your time to go make the play, and he has that. And I'm telling you, the other night, man, we lose to Ohio State in overtime, and he was incredible in the second half.
Yeah.
I mean, he willed us, right, to have a chance to win in overtime. And the first thing he's, you know, just been out of shape after the game because he's mad he missed the one free throw, you know. And so he takes a lot of personal responsibility, but he just models what a leader's supposed to be like. And so, again, I just think the world of him. It's been really fun to watch him grow, and I think his best days are still ahead of him.
Yeah, I think you've rubbed off on him quite a bit because whenever he comes to that post-game press conference following a loss, it's just wearing on his face, and you can always tell he's saying, we got to flush it and move on to the next game because it's only going to be harder. So I think you're rubbing off on him quite a bit right now.
You know, and flushing it's harder sometimes because especially like you care so deeply as a competitor, but he gets it, and man, we're lucky to have him.
Absolutely, you are. All right, we have to burn our last TV timeout, but when we return, we're, of course, talking the rematch with Wisconsin and what's in store for the Gophers moving forward. We'll be right back.
the Gopher Coaches Show.
All right, unfortunately, it's our last block here with Coach Medved, but we'll make sure we enjoy it. Coach, Wisconsin 2.0 coming up. You guys nearly had the win at home at the barn. A last-second shot beat you. What do you have in store for this next matchup?
Well, one of the things I love, actually, it's the first opponent all year we get to play a second time around, and I kind of miss that. I love, you know, having those games where you play a team twice, maybe even 3 times, you know, if you get them in the conference tournament. So that will be interesting for us doing that. Obviously, it was a terrific first game. They're really playing well. I know they took a tough loss yesterday, but have been playing their best basketball of the season. They had so many people who can hurt you. Obviously, Blackwell really hurt us in the second half, and so did Braden Carrington. And so we had a lot of things right, I thought, in the first matchup, but we've got to do it for longer periods of time. And obviously, we can't allow those guys to get loose for as many threes as we did in the second half.
That's kind of where I wanted to go, because they've got guys that can hurt you inside as well, and obviously they've got a good offensive structure and system like you do, where the ball kind of flies around and moves. So how do you emphasize taking the three-pointer away when they have so many dudes that seemingly can go get one?
I think it's the kinds of threes you're giving up. You know, I think when, you know, we got beat off the dribble too much in the second half, and when you're constantly in rotation defensively and the ball's in the paint, you're going to give up a higher percentage of threes. And so I think it's more, can we do a better job of owning the paint, and you want non-paint touch threes, and they can still make some of those, but I think over the course of the game, you know, the percentages show they don't go in as much. And so I thought we needed to do a much better job of that. And then, you know, had some breakdowns, you know, defensively that we can't do. Teams like that at this level, they're going to make you pay.
Well, looking forward to that rematch there, Coach. About 40 seconds left in this show. What's your message to fans and your team for the rest of this season as you get ready for this conference stretch that you're on?
You know, hey, we're not quite halfway through yet. I think this team is really, you know, boy, it's been heartbreaking that some of these we haven't quite got over the hump, but they're really battling. I see fans are having fun again coming and watching the team play. Stay with us. They're going to continue to give them their best. Doesn't mean every game's going to go the way that they want, but if they keep staying with it here, I think there are better days ahead here down the stretch. So, and boy, it's going to be here quickly, right? I mean, before you can blink an eye, this is over. So just keep staying with us. Keep bringing that energy, you know, for this year, too, with this particular group. But I think it speaks well for the future of Gopher basketball.
All right. Buy stock now. That'll do it for the Gopher Coaches Show.